bum 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 bum. I like the music, but opening Grimrock always takes so long. And I don't even know why, like this just takes ages. I get no mouse or anything, it completely seizes my PC up. -1, almost human. Okay, hello everybody, I was almost scared there I loaded the wrong file. Hello everyone, welcome. I can't be too loud today, I probably will be too loud, but it is currently, welcome to like 4:15 AM. This is like a really bizarre time for me to be recording videos, doesn't often happen. We today are going to be exploring the Wormbound Catacombs, which is the dungeon below the cemetery. Where is that thing? There's like a freaky thing in that room that you can see through that wall. But before we do this, before we start checking out, you know, getting the vibe of all the dead people around and stuff, we're actually going to come back outside now. I'm going to dig in a grave we didn't dig in yet and find a cool secret. So, like I mentioned last episode that there's a bit of unexplored cemetery up here. You'd really be surprised to see how little unexplored cemetery there is, okay? So we come over here. And this is the only direction we did. Was there something on the floor there just a second ago? This is the only... No, I guess it was mushroom. This is the only direction we haven't been in yet. And this is a dead end. This is where we picked up the ethereal blade. It's down here. This is it. This is the only way we haven't been, alright? Here we go. So, big part of the cemetery coming up. Oh. And that's it. That's it. As we turn through here, by the way, a ghoul will appear behind us. The Jonker will gladly attempt to one-shot. Oh, I was really hoping he'd one-shot it there. Where was the crit, Jonko? Where are your massive hits going, buddy? They're not living up. I seem to remember in Grimrock 1, you, with frost damage, could freeze people anyway. Like, one thing you'll notice that Grimrock 2 doesn't have that the first game did have is, enchanting arrows. Like, that's not a thing here, sadly. So here we get a skull. This is pretty awesome. Obviously, we were going to get a skull in the cemetery, right? That is our, what, 7th skull? I have no idea how many there are in the game. I kind of want to fill up the bag. Like, the collector's mentality is hitting me here. I'm like, must fill up the slots, but I don't even know whether they intend you to have in a bag or whatever. And we also find a note. This note's pretty cool. It does give us a clue to the location of a secret later on in the game. We'll read it for now, though. Lotopatho says, there is a fountain with an ancient oak by its side. From the oak, take 4 steps to the east, and then 2 to the south shall you stride. The treasure now lies beneath your feet. Feet, supposed to be rhyming with east there, maybe? Or subtly? I can't remember what that's called. That's called like, is that a half rhyme? I watched this whole YouTube video about like the genius, and let me finish the whole thought here. Apparently, like the genius of Eminem, right? Or basically like the history of rap and how classically rap would just rhyme the last word at the end of a sentence, and now you find like rap artists are much more jam-packed in their sentence structure because like you have multiple words all sound the same even within the same line, and it just gives you this lovely like rhythm to listen to. Anyway, that sort of described rhymes, and I thought I had it all committed to memory, but I totally don't. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna dig in here as well. Kind of cool that we get a skull in this grave, right? But I'm pretty sure we won't find anything even if we do the digging. Someone mentioned in the comments, oh, I think you're supposed to get a skull in a grave. I'm pretty sure this is the grave you're thinking of, right? It's not like one of the other ones we've been digging in. It's just one like this. So yeah, we really could just go straight into the Wormbound Catacombs now and be off on our merry way. However, I did tell you guys that there was a bit of a secret with the graves here, and that's what we're going to be solving today. I think it should be pretty fun, actually. Oh, we're going the wrong way. What we want to do is start reading the graves again, because there was a lot of, like, weird lore, right? There was some kind of interesting stuff, some kind of sad stuff, some mysterious stuff. Oh, my God, wow. I guess when I LP late at night, it has some effect on my motor control. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and find these graves and examine anything similar between them. So here was one over here. This was, says nameless, he refused to die. That was a button, not a grave. This grave over here was Wrangle Fjordwalker. He might have been spared of this fate if his promises were as strong as his back. Someone in the comments said like their interpretation of that grave was actually the opposite of my interpretation, which was that he was a great labourer and very strong, but he lied or something? I can't really remember. We're going to keep trying to find more graves. What else have we got? There may be a fair amount of wandering around. We get 2 here. Haro the Scribe, okay, the esteemed writer of the Annals of Theron, okay. And we also get Urhep the Master Carpenter. Now, I want you guys to remember these 2 names. Urhep and Haro, okay? Just try and commit those to memory and where we're currently stood in the graveyard. That'll be helpful. And yeah, there could potentially be a lot of wandering around. Primarily, I want us to be in the Wormbound Catacombs this episode, though, so you will excuse me if I do a little bit of an edit here as we find one. Really, I just want to find one of these graves and point something kind of cool out to you guys. Over here? Oh my god, I mean, we're right back at the start now. We're in places we haven't been for ages. Okay, here we go. So here's one. This is Muriel Riddle. Ended her life in the Red Hills in the town of Adiamon. Puzzles and mysteries meant everything to her. Now, this doesn't even demo it very well. Do any of them demo it very well? No, they don't. Oh, this is so cleverly done. Oh, one of them does, sort of. Okay, alright, I'll stop being cryptic. Okay, so her name is Riddle. We actually have 3 graves in this game. All riddles. All of them have got, and not like Tom Marvolo riddle, just, you know, this isn't another reference. They're all riddles, and combined, the information you get from these 3 graves will actually lead you to a secret. And it's very subtle the way they do this. What you have to do is grab the information from all 3 graves first of all. So I'm actually going to go to my other monitor here, and I'm going to read you the information. We've got Muriel here. There was another grave we found called from Jacon Riddle, or Yakon Riddle, I guess, maybe is how you're supposed to say his name. And I guess I'll bring the notepad over here. So here we go. This is like my main notepad, by the way. I've never really showed people this copy pasta for YouTube. This file is years and years and years old and has tons of information and all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, at the very top, I just copy pasted in the top here. So we've got Yak and Riddle. This is exactly as they appear, okay? So banished from Itola, the famous puzzle wright traveled to the tavern of Wormflight to start a new life. Efforts were in vain, for in the inn he was slain by the river of an eel near the town of Needle. And so this next one is Muriel, which we've read. And the last one was Ronar Riddle. Hallowed woods of Arn Arwen claimed another victim. Remaining puzzles designed by him were lost in the burned library of Ormond. So what you're supposed to do here is put these 3 graves in order. And it would be very difficult to see anything out of place in the way that they're written. But if you take and jot down, this is one of the more complicated puzzles in all of Grimrock 2, okay? If you take down all of the capital letters in these messages, it will actually give you a clue to another location. So here we go. We've got B, banished from Itola. The famous puzzle writer traveled to the tavern of Wormflight to start a new life. Why are we being attacked? Amazing. Okay, let's kill the ghoul. Where did you even come from? These things don't respawn like this. Someone mentioned, oh, you get attacked all the time when you're not paying attention. I'm like, what are you talking about? And now it's happened so many episodes in a row, it's ridiculous. Okay, let's go again. So we've got BETW right now. So W was the last one. Wormflight. Start a new life. Efforts, the E is capitalized, were in vain for the inn. He was slain by the river of Eel, but near the town of Needle. So we've actually got the word between. Look at that. In that friggin' grave, it actually says between there. And it's really cleverly hidden in there because there's no out of place capital letters here. It's all proper nouns in the start of sentences. Let's go Muriel. So she's got ended in the Red Hills in the town of Adiamon. Puzzles and mysteries meant everything to her. Ah, we've got a name here. Erhep. And then Ronar Riddle. Hallowed woods of Ann Arwen claimed another victim. Remaining puzzles designed by him were lost in the burned library of Ormond. Between Erhep, Haro. That's what we get. And didn't we just find 2 graves in-game, Erhep and Haro? Now, that is the solution to the puzzle. What's supposed to tip you off to do this? I'm suddenly a little bit scared that there's another message, another clue later on in the game that's supposed to tell you about that. But Grimrock does, there's like the ultimate secret of this game is like so subtly done, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so check it out. We've got Haro the Scribe, Erhep the Master Carpenter, and we already dug in their 2 graves, but what about between their graves? You will notice, if you go back to a previous episode, me freaking out because I was digging this grave. I was like, wait, are we in the right place? Didn't want to accidentally get the secret. Anyway, so by digging here, what do you know, guys? We do indeed find a treasure. It will cost us another lockpick to get in, but that's fine. We'll open it up. It's not a mimic. And here we get something pretty cool. We get a gold key straight away, which is nice. We get a message, which Sanon's going to read, the drunk mage. Ah, my last will and testament. Here are my most prized possessions for whoever solved my final riddle. His voice has not been consistent at all. And so that was written by Yakon Riddle. So there you go. I'm sure you could get this by just accidentally digging around or whatever. If you're the kind of person that just follows maps and sees all the significant stuff before you go, then you'll just see a great chest here straight away. I will keep that because I'm pretty proud of that note. Okay, and what did we get? Well, we got a tome. This is one of the more interesting tomes in the game. This is called The Rites of the Moon. And it says, the pages of this book are scribbled full of unknown ancient runes and vivid descriptions of dark rituals. That doesn't give us any idea of what it does, right? In fact, it sounds a little bit foreboding. This is like a bit like the bear transmuter's potion. You're kind of scared when you first do it. Oh, is it permanent? What's it going to do? We're actually going to use this on Lotopatho. Now, I do know exactly what this does, but I'm going to leave that. I won't tell you guys exactly, because that's a bit of the magic of the game so far. So we will probably describe it over the next episode or so. So we're going to consume it on Lotopatho. Good luck, dude. It says at the bottom, Lotopatho is somehow changed. Oh, God. And I suppose if you freeze frame and go back, you might see some change on his stats there. But maybe you don't want to do that. So yeah, there we go, and we already put the Spirit Walker pendant back on him instead of the ring on a string. Like I said, he's a bit of a guinea pig for just some weird stuff, so he feels somehow changed. What the heck could that mean? We may see some more messages coming up as time passes. Hopefully this doesn't end up killing him, whatever it is, and I guess we will now progress deeper into the cemetery, which is not, wait, yeah, it is definitely not that way. So we're going to go into the Catacombs now. Experience another little bit of a dungeon. Oh my God, I did not mean to fall down there. As opposed to what most other people have been saying, I actually don't think that this dungeon is too sprawling, is too long. Perhaps that's just my naive opinion of it though, and there's a bit more that I'm not really looking at. But it's not too bad. I'm actually going to cut it till we get there, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Such a bad Let's Play. Look, I can even ramble my way through those few steps. Here we go. Alright. Now we are a bit wounded, and it's a little while before we find a save crystal. What have we got? No energy regen on Tickrit. I'm okay with that. Someone was saying this staff we found, by the way, the D-Spell staff, would probably be best on Tickrit. I think I agree. I think I do, because, I mean, next time he levels up, what's he going to do anyway, which is coming pretty soon. So, yeah, I think I agree. But, however, the broken hand on Lotopatho is pretty serious, so we'll fix that. All right, so here we go. Like I say, remember near the start of the game, we actually saw a bunch of these guys in these recesses. I don't really know what they're called. I don't know. Not too familiar with Catacombs nomenclature. And someone was, it's totally like a Skyrim thing, isn't it? It's like, oh, are they going to come out? Are they going to be like Draugrs? But yeah, so our current goal is to get through that door up there. You'll notice this weird area underneath. This is called the bridge, or I guess it's pointing to the bridge above us. You've got a bunch of recesses. I don't think you ever really find items in these, so you don't have to worry yourself too much. And it's kind of open plan, this floor. It's not as open plan as, in my opinion, the Lexiconary was, but it does have kind of an interesting layout to it, in that first you're going to come out in this big chamber. You've got this door here, which you cannot get through, and this door here, which you cannot get through. So you just want to make a mental note of that, that to the south, there are two directions you can't really travel in. And if we continue around the corners of this room, you do find... Oh, no, what the hell? What the hell? Oh my God, yeah, so we're here. Whoa, this just blew my mind, guys. Okay, alright, never mind. Wow, what a wasted potion. Here's the crystal. That's so weird. Oh my God, because as you notice, we can walk underneath it. I thought our first perspective of the crystal was going to be from underneath. That's just totally my bad. Alright, fine. Okay, well, look, there you go. There's the crystal. It's right at the start. Oh, and by doing that, of course, these guys are released. Yes, we're starving. Don't worry, I've noticed. So we'll eat this on him. Do we still have one egg left? No, we're out of eggs, I think. Okay, oh no, we got one more egg. There we go. Brilliant. Enjoy that. Fry that up. Okay. So, by hitting the save crystal, you're going to get a bunch of these guys. They're going to try and flank you. Of course, I think we were pretty familiar that it was going to be these sorts of dudes here in the Catacombs. I think it'd be cooler if maybe they set up that there was another civilization that had been on the island at some point. I mean, we've got two. We've got the Zaffi and whatever. I don't know. I think it would just add a little bit more depth. But you've got to appreciate that as indie developers. I mean, how much can they really do? So, come on, one more. Moonblade cooldown is just so low. There we go, 71. You notice these guys seem to be a little bit tankier. I can't quite confirm whether they are more dangerous than the old ones we used to fight. I mean, I do very little dancing in Grimrock 2. You've probably noticed this. I do, in fact, consider Grimrock 2 to be a fair bit easier. Now that I have the perspective for it, a fair bit easier than the first game was, where dancing was way more important. But dancing's kind of a weird thing. Like, this is such an odd mix of turn-based and, you know, real-time gameplay. It's odd. Anyway, that's going to open two recesses. We get some Falcon Sky there. Not Falcon Sky, Mudwort. We get some lightning bombs, of which Tickrit is now holding 7. We should start using those. Should today be a bomb episode? Should we just start throwing bombs all over the place? Because we have so many. Frost bombs, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this, so to the south was two doors we couldn't go through. To the west was the save crystal, and also this lovely little bit of lore here in the way of this message, which, you know, it would be kind of cool if this texture here actually represented the fact we have so much text. Do you know what I think would be really cool as well? If if the runes on this were similar to what we learned in the Lexiconary, right? So maybe they say something like generic, but actually points you to another secret if you take the time to translate it using like this scroll. How cool would that be? Anyway, so we get some lore. These catacombs were built as the final resting place for the Wormbound family who, for countless generations, acted as envoys and ambassadors between the dragons and the other sentient species of the realms. So, dragons in Grimrock, okay. The long-lasting truce was broken when Zarant and Orul, so that's Zarant Wormbound, Orul Wormbound, stole an egg from the nest and escaped to the Isle of Nex with the hatchling on board their airship. One thing I'd like to point out to you guys is if you remember that the opening cutscene of Grimrock 1 depicted an airship. How were our heroes of the first game plopped into that mountain? It was through airships. So this is a universe with those. We've had a lot of standard ship travel and discussion in this game, but yeah, they're there, so there you go. And so lastly, this reads that the Master rarely grants wishes, but for their great services, he granted the Wormbounds the gift of immortality. Wow, so the Island Master has the power to grant immortality? Oh, wow, alright, this is pretty cool. And I love the idea that they had this long-standing truce between dragons and these people, and they totally broke it, fled. And remember, when did we see the Island Master? He was riding a freaking dragon, guys. Or, I don't know, what? Wyverns are flightless dragons? Is that the truth? Is that what it is? I don't know, it wasn't totally draconic. It was like a specific type of dragon that I can't really remember anymore. Alright, so there you go. Anyway, look, that's a bit of story. That's where that friggin' dragon came from. Who knows how old it is, how old dragons even live in this universe, whatever. Okay, I know, we will keep the bombs out. Alright, so that's what you get, and now to loop around even further here, you'll notice there's really not much going on in terms of secret buttons. You find a gate with a chain to the north, and over here, we come back into the room we started in. So, really, I thought, actually, I could have sworn, you can tell I'm sort of all over the place, I could have sworn that you could actually travel down here. I guess that's just a huge mistake. I think we break back into this room very shortly, hopefully by the end of the episode. Oh my god, we're 17 minutes? How did those 17 minutes lapse? Okay, wow, alright, well, so let's keep going. We're going to go through this northern door and see what we got. Immediately going to get another split, left and right. Now, if you were to go on the left, you're going to drop down and not be able to climb back up. If you go down this way, you will, but you'll notice a friggin' scary-looking, horrible monster thing over there. So we're not going to deal with that. We're actually going to come down here, immediately spin around, and freeze this guy and kill him. I really think that the fire damage should totally shatter people. And we'll kill him. He surprises you. On the floor actually here is also a lockpick, so don't forget to pick that up on one of my files as I came through here. I totally did forget to do that. And we got another guy. I think this room may be the one with a secret button too. One of the rare ones. It's, I don't know, I feel like it reflects kind of negatively when there is such a simple secret in the game. Where is it? We just press the secret, unless I'm thinking of a different chamber. It's honestly, in this dungeon, there is just a really basic, oh, there's a secret button on the wall. If we press it, we open a secret chamber, and oh, look, there's a chest in there. I guess it was a different chamber. Okay, and I don't know, it's weird when stuff like that happens, because you expect stuff to be so much more elaborate now. You think of, like, the way that the friggin' pyramid went, for example. Here we're going to find another door. Through here is actually an interesting puzzle chamber. I'm going to do something kind of cool, I think, here, and give you guys a chance to maybe mull over how you think the puzzle is done. You can leave comments if you like. So this is a puzzle chamber. We won't be dealing with this, but here we've got a bunch of pressure pads. Okay, and on the other side of the room, we've got a bunch of items falling just short of pressure pads. Can you see that? Here's what it looks like on the map. This is the most we can map out. And we have to figure out, what are we doing here? What do you guys think? So you got some candles in the recesses on the walls. And I guess I will leave that there. This totally isn't my plan to do anything to do this room today. So we're going to move on. And we're going to keep looping around. So now this is our only direction. Over here is not a branch, but instead just a flail. Again, I mean, I don't know, loot like this is just odds to me. 5-second cooldown, heavy weapons, sure. It's got the stun ability. Is the stun ability really that great? We used it early on in the game against trash enemies, but, you know, it does just the fact that they're not trash enemies more now mean anything more? I don't think so. Maybe if it was a soldier or something and you could use the ability a lot quicker. But I'm not going to be carrying the flail around. Again, I'm open to any convincing arguments otherwise. I know we're kind of cheesing up with the same sword the whole time, but, I mean, guys, can you blame me? You're actually going to find here as well, there is a lot of heavy armor. So we're going to get some plate gauntlets. I'm going to carry these around on Jonker, I think, in case we do end up doing this kind of heavy armor route on Loto Patho. Again, it's a question of skill points at this point. Really, I cannot describe to you guys enough where we're hitting a point where we're not going to get that many more skill points or levels, so we have to be very careful with where we spend our points, very deliberate about it. Oh, so these guys are weak to lightning damage. That's pretty badass. I'm pretty glad we're using the lightning bombs. So over there, okay, no, I thought I could see a flapping wing there, but it was totally just the way that the graphics were working. Okay, we get a teleporter. Do I want to deal with the teleporter? We'll deal with the teleporter next episode, because that chamber's kind of weird, but we're going to get... I did see wings flapping. What the heck? Okay, so check it out. Here, we get... I actually don't know what these things are called. Flying eyes? Fly eyes? Whatever. While they attack you, they kind of have these very long attack animations that seem interesting, but they don't do much damage. They look really intimidating and weird and remind me of Doom a little bit, and it's nice to see new enemies, sure. But, you know, mechanics-wise, they're not really that impressive. I thought it would be kind of cool if they just latched onto your face and just kept attacking, kept gnarling away at your face for ages. But, no, they just have normal animations, and you just kill them. I mean, I really don't have much more to say. I think they might have a chance of diseasing you. Here we find a scroll. Let's read this scroll on Jonker, shall we? Oh, hello. Yeah, by taking the scroll, you're going to release some enemies and open that gate. And the gate that just opened is indeed... the very same gate that we couldn't get through just a second ago. So we've actually looped back round into the main chamber now. There you go. More examples of Loto Pathos struggling with the old damage issues right now. But it's okay. This guy seems pretty recoiled. Oh, so I should... if these guys are weak to lightning, I should totally be using the top right glyph instead of the top left. Oh, no. Well, he wasn't weak to it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Not going to claim to. There we go. So he's down. And by collecting that scroll, which we'll now read... it says under. Oh, sorry. It says under and over and all over again and over. What the hell does that mean? Well, we don't really know, do we? But yeah, so this was the wooden door, which is now obviously open and doesn't reveal anything. And maybe we take this over the switch. I guess not. Okay, and we end up back in the main chamber here. So we're sort of circling around on ourselves now. So really, all we've got next to look at is that like little puzzle chamber-ish there, if it can be completed. And also, we have the teleport room where we will find ourselves a key very soon. But that's sort of the start of this dungeon floor. Here we go, this way. I keep going off the wrong turnings. And I guess I will see you guys tomorrow for us going a little bit further down. I really want to get to the hamlet of Stormbreach. This fountain that was mentioned in one of these notes we got earlier on in the episode. Let's bring everything back over to where it should be. The idea of did we actually read it? Oh, wow, wait, we don't have the note. Oh my god, guys, am I making a big mistake? No, we did. We read this, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, so we have actually seen some fountains so far in the game, but it's not referring to any that we've been to just yet. So I do want to get back outside, so don't expect us to spend too long in these episodes. I'll probably whiz through them fairly quickly. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow.